Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here continuing. Let's cook up this NBA action, man. Y'all know we do. We're on the jam session. We cook up every single game, every single day. Money making Friday, ladies and gentlemen. One of my absolute favorite days of the week. And y'all know what we got going on today. We got a 13-game NBA card, and we're just trying to smash it per usual. We absolutely kicked the crap out of the books on Monday here on the jam session. Tuesday, there were no games. Election day, took a deep breath, had to reassess things. Wednesday, came out 12-game card. We went 10-12 that day. Absolutely took the books behind the woodshed. Last night, we did go 0-3 on the jam session. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. In all honesty, though, I did tell y'all I wasn't in love with that card yesterday. And I do cook up every single game, every single day, so it's going to happen sometimes. What I ended up doing, I ended up basically taking every underdog outright on the money line and praying we hit one of them. And, of course, all three of them were in the game the entire way through. The Bulls had the lead most of the way through. The Jazz had a lead most of the way through. The Blazers were in the game most of the way. Late fourth quarter, I don't know what happened to all them teams. They just fell apart. It happens. It happens. But in the grand scheme of things, man, we have been extremely hot this week on the huge card days. Monday and Wednesday, we have kicked the crap out of the book. So on Friday, huge card, 13 games. Y'all know we're looking to do the exact same thing. So if you're rocking with me, rock with me. Hop on something long-term. Hop on a 3-day pass over at Pickdawgz Premium and get every single play that I release for the weekend. NBA, college football, NFL. Man, y'all know what we do here in the NBA, and y'all know what today is, a money-making Friday. Let's do what we do. Let's kick the crap out of the books. Let's make some money tonight. Without further ado, let's hop right into tonight's NBA action. First game of the day. We're in Charlotte where the Hornets are 6.5-point home dogs with the Indiana Pacers rolling in total 234.5. I do see this game being high scoring. I would lean towards an over. Y'all know I hate betting totals, though. I hate the way the totals make me watch the game. For anybody that was wondering. I know y'all ask that question all the time, but I would lean towards an over in this game. I think points is what we get here. I think defense will be a little optional. Both teams like to push the pace. Both teams like to get up and run. And in that style game, I want the points in my back pocket with the Charlotte Hornets as well. Pacers are the better basketball team, but these two teams, both younger teams, both running gun style teams, I think the Hornets actually match up quite well with the Indiana Pacers. I went back and looked how these two teams matched up in recent history, and the Hornets have won 2 of the last 4 meetings. Hornets won the last meeting last season, 111-102 in Charlotte. The Pacers won the meeting before that, 115-99. Pacers won the meeting before that, 144-113. Hornets won the meeting before that, 125-124. Of course, we know the Hornets are healthy right now. That's one of the main reasons we really like this team. Bad teams don't know they're bad yet. Bad teams aren't tanking yet. Friday night at home at the crib for the Hornets. I think we see them compete, especially coming off the game winner from a night ago. Vibes are high. I like what I'm seeing from Charlotte. I think the Pacers are the better basketball team, but not a great matchup for them. I'll grab the points here with Charlotte in our first game of the day. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we're in Detroit where the Pistons are home favorites, man. Pistons laying 1.5 points on the Atlanta Hawks in this one. Short, sweet, simple. You already know what we're doing. We're going to lay it here with the Pistons, man. We're fading the Atlanta Hawks. It's really all it boils down to. The Hawks are the number 1 team on the do not bet list. This team is terrible, and we're going to continue to fade them blindly. They were the worst ATS team last year, only covered at a 35% clip, and right now this season, they're 2-7 against the current worst team in the NBA this year as well. So I don't just make this shit up, man. We're going to fade the Hawks at all costs. They did come out and get a win in their last game against the Knicks. Wasn't too surprised to see that happen. I kind of talked about it that day here on the jam session. The fuck Trae Young narrative. If there was one spot and situation that we're going to come out and hoop, it was against the overrated, overvalued Knicks, who we'll talk about later. But here in this one, I think the line tells you everything you need to know. Pistons, home favorites. I'm going to take them. It's actually kind of crazy when I looked at the recent history between these two teams. The Hawks have won 7 straight over the Detroit Pistons, but I think that shit comes to an end tonight. I'm on Detroit outright. I'll lay the 1.5. Injury report. Keep an eye on it for both teams. Cody Zeller out for the Hawks. DeAndre Hunter out. Bogdan Bogdanovic out for the Pistons. During game time decision, Asar Thompson still out. But I'm gonna take the Pistons at home Friday night. Continuing to fade the Hawks like we love doing here on the Jam Session. The worst ATS team last year, and right now currently the worst ATS team this year. Coming off a huge win, perfect fade spot. Give me Detroit. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we're in Orlando, where the Magic are 5.5-point home favorites over the New Orleans Pelicans. Total 213.5. Total wise, I would lean under in this basketball game. I don't see a whole lot of offensive firepower on the floor in this one. I think defense is going to be the mantra for both teams in this style game, so I would lean towards an under. But point spread wise, I like the Magic here. I'm going to lay the points with these boys in the bounce back spot at home at the crib. The Pelicans, let's start there. They're on the do not bet list, and they're still tremendously banged up. I do see Trey Murphy, game time decision, could be coming back in this one, and Zion, game time decision. But, hey, we know what's up with the Pelicans, man. We know what's up with them. When they're healthy, when everybody's playing, the numbers suggest they're one of the best teams in the league. As soon as one person is missing, as soon as one person is banged up, especially when they get to stacking injuries, they're the Pelicans, and we like to fade the hell out of them. They're on the do not bet list for a reason. On the flip side, the Magic, man, one of our favorite money-making teams from a season ago. Hey, I trust them in this spot and situation. Last year, remember, 22-6 as home favorites. 22-6 as home favorites against the number. They covered in this spot basically at a 79% clip. Hey, bounce back spot at home at the crib for the Magic is how I see this game. I've been harping on the Magic. We've been talking about these boys. I know they're on a slight losing streak, and they're missing their best player, their offensive weapon, their offensive initiator, Paolo Banchero. Going up against the teams that they face, we've been fading them, boys, because we just knew they weren't going to have the offensive firepower to compete with those offensive juggernauts they were playing. Dallas, Indiana, Oklahoma City. All three of those teams can put the ball in the hoop with the best of them, offensive-style teams. So we knew that just wasn't the game style situation for Orlando. Going up against the Pelicans, who are tremendously banged up and struggling to put the ball in the hole themselves, I think is the perfect style spot for Orlando. At home, Friday night, bounce back spot. It makes sense here to lay it with Orlando. I also went back and looked at how these two teams have matched up in recent history. Magic have dominated the Pelicans, man. 117-108, 121-106, 101-93, 123-110, 108-102. The Magic have won 5 straight over New Orleans. All of them have been comfortable and dominant. Hey, this one's short, sweet, and simple. I'm on Orlando. I'm laying the points with these boys in the bounce back spot at home, at the crib, and we're continuing to fade the Pelicans, who are on the do not bet list. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we're in Boston, where the Celtics are 12.5-point home favorites over the Brooklyn Nets. As I always say, unless we have a clear and concise reason to fade the Celtics, we're just not going to do so. We had a clear reason to do so last game with the Warriors. We took them plus the points, and if you were on the morning show, we had them in the parlay with the Nuggets. So moneyline parlay, Denver and Golden State, that cash. Shout out them boys. But that was a clear and concise reason to fade Boston. The Warriors have been that thorn in the side of the Celtics. Warriors also a really good road team the last 2 seasons combined. So wasn't shocked at all to see the Warriors go in there and do it. But I have no reason to believe that the Nets can cover in this basketball game. It's a terrible spot and situation for them. Boston coming off a loss at home at the crib is a bet-on situation for Boston. The Nets coming off a pretty significant homestand. They did play solid in that homestand. Beat Memphis twice, beat Chicago. But now out on the road, I think the Celtics probably throttle them. Looking at the recent history between these two teams, the Celtics have won 4 straight. The last meeting, they dominated the Nets 136-86. The meeting before that, 118-110. Before that, 121-107. And before that, 124-114. So I guess they really only covered this line in 2 of 4, but all the wins were dominant. I don't have a clear and concise reason to fade Boston, especially not coming off a loss. So short, sweet, simple for me in this one. I'll lay the points with the Celtics, the defending champs. Still, in my opinion, the best team in the NBA. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we got 2 of the best record teams in the league. We also got the 2 best ATS teams in the NBA, man. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers at home, at the crib, laying 4.5 points on the Golden State Warriors. This game giving me 2016 vibes, man. Hey, y'all wasn't there. Y'all wasn't there. Maybe I was, but y'all wasn't. Hey, it's a tough one, man. The Warriors coming off the huge win and their last one, beating the Celtics outright on the road. We had them in our parlay money line with the Nuggets, and we had them plus the points. Cleveland, though, man, unbeaten. Only one loss against the number this season. They've been a money-making machine. And to be honest, I still don't think people realize how good they are. I think people are still waiting for the other shoe to drop with Cleveland. I think a lot of people are going to be betting Golden State here. And I get it. I definitely get why people will be betting Golden State here. Golden State as a dog on the road, money. It's been money these last couple of seasons. We've been on that spot like nobody's business. But I don't want to fade Cleveland right now. Do you blame me? Like, Cleveland is hooping. Cleveland is hooping right now, and I don't want to fade them. This is not one of my favorite games tonight. For sure, I'll be watching as a fan. This will definitely be on my TV screen tonight. But from a betting perspective, it's tough as hell, man. It's a tough one, man, because the Warriors do be balling on the road. They're a great road ATS team. We just saw them go on the road and beat the defending champs outright. But coming off that win, now having to go play the other best team in Cleveland, who hasn't lost this season, you know on a Friday night this venue is going to be rocking. This venue is going to be jumping. Showcase game for the Cavs to really put the world on notice that we're really this good. We're really unbeaten. And we really think we can do this damn thing this season, man. I'm going to take the Cavs. I'm going to lay the 4.5. That's where I'm going to be in this one. Tough game, but deep down I believe it's the right play. I'm going to lay the points with Cleveland as I think they keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we got the New York Knicks at home at the crib, laying 7.5 points on the Milwaukee Bucks. Total 223.5. Who the hell do y'all think the Knicks are? Who do the books think the Knicks are? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm tired of the Knicks already. Give me the Bucks plus the points in this one. It's a game I'm not rushing to the window to bet. It's not a premium because the Bucks are on the do not bet list, and the spot and situation's not the best on the back end of a back-to-back with travel. They did beat up on Utah late in that basketball game yesterday. It was competitive most of the way through, but they did pull away and win comfortably in the end. But who do y'all think the Knicks are, bro? They are not 7.5 points better than Milwaukee. They're not, even on the back end of a back-to-back with travel, in my opinion. Looking back at how these two teams matched up a season ago, Milwaukee won the season series 3-2. Milwaukee won the first 3 meetings of last year. Scores went like this: 110-105, 146-122, 130-111. And then the Knicks won the last 2 meetings: 129-122 and 122-109. I'm not laying 7 points with the Knicks, bro. Hell no, I can't do it. Won't do it. 8 or 7-point favorites over the Hawks and lost outright. Milwaukee, they're on the do not bet list, mainly as favorites. As a dog, especially this size of a dog, I feel like we should be able to trust them. Right now, there's nobody on the injury report outside of Chris Middleton, who's been out. I think the Knicks are overrated and overvalued, and I don't know who people think the Knicks are. I don't. I'm going to continue to harp on that until the Knicks show me that they are the team that everybody continues to portray them to be. Just my thoughts. Give me the Bucks plus the points here in this one. Next game up, we got my favorite team, the Dallas Mavericks, at home, at the crib, laying 2.5 points on the Phoenix Suns. Total 230.5. I ain't going to talk your ear off here in this one. I like the Mavs. I'm going to lay the points with them here in this one. The Suns did win the first meeting this season. That was the Suns' only comfortable win this year. They won it at home at the crib, 114-102. Suns are balling right now, only have 1 L on the season. They've won 5 straight, but they're also coming off a pretty significant homestand. Now out on the road facing a Dallas team who this will be their 5th straight home game. So Dallas is at home, at the crib, comfortable at home, shooting in the same gym, same rim that they've been shooting in for quite some time. I usually like those spot and situations. Revenge game for Dallas after losing earlier this season. These two teams hate each other. I like what I saw from the Mavs in their last game against Chicago. I expect Dallas, the better team still in my mind, in my opinion, to get their revenge. Phoenix has been good to start the season. But now having to play a good team out on the road for like the first time this season, I don't really trust them. Give me Dallas. Short, sweet, simple. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we're in Memphis where the Grizzlies are 7.5 point home favorites over the Washington Wizards. Total 231.5. First, let's talk injuries in this game because I think that's what's most important. For the Wizards, Marvin Bagley, game time decision, could be back. Brogdon still out. Kuzma still out. Sadiq Bey still out for the Wizards. For the Grizzlies, Conchar, game time decision. John Morant, out. No John Morant tonight. Marcus Smart, still out. I don't feel comfortable laying this many points with the Grizzlies. No John Morant, especially following beating up on the Lakers. Just seems like a bad spot and situation for Memphis. I know they just won at home comfortably the other night, but John Morant played a lot of that basketball game. His aura was felt throughout that basketball game. Without him, I don't trust the Grizzlies as this sizable of favorites. I'm sorry, I just don't. The Wizards, they're a bad team. We understand that. But they're going to play well in certain spots and situations, and I got that gut feeling this is one of those. So I'm not overcomplicating this one. I just don't feel comfortable laying this style of number with Memphis without their best player, John Morant, following a win over the most public team on the planet, the Los Angeles Lakers. I think the back door is possibly going to be wide open here for the Washington Wizards to walk through. If not, win this game outright. The Grizzlies are 5-4 this season, and we have seen them lose some head-scratching basketball games. So it wouldn't shock the hell out of me. The Wizards came here and won this game outright. I'll lean towards Washington with the points in our back pocket here in this one. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we're in Oklahoma City where the Thunder Buddies are laying 8.5 points on the Houston Rockets. Hey, these are two teams we bet and bet often. And because we bet both these teams often, we know their spots. We know their situations. And this game right here yells to me, this is an Oklahoma City style spot and situation. I'm going to lay the points here with Oklahoma City coming home, bounce back spot at the crib following a loss. They did lose outright as sizable favorites in their last game, but they had no business being that sizable favorites on the road in Denver where the Nuggets go stupid, dummy, crazy. I know they blew out Denver to start the season in Denver, but they were tremendously overrated and overvalued in that game. Just check Denver's home record the last 2-3 seasons. So nothing to hang their head on in that game. But coming back home, I think this is a lock-in spot for them, and they return to the team we know and love them to be. The Thunder as home favorites, that's their spot, that's their situation. Looking back at a season ago, the Thunder as home favorites, man, they were 25-15 against the number. The Rockets, we bet them a lot as well. The Rockets are a tremendous home team. On the road, not so much. They were not a profitable road team at all last season. And as away underdogs, they were terrible, 12-17-1 against the number. So not overcomplicating this one, man. This is a Thunder Buddy style spot. We trust them at home, at the crib. I know the Rockets have been playing solid basketball, and they've even won back-to-back road games, but not tonight. I think the Thunder handle business, take care of them, win the game comfortably. Short, sweet, simple. I'll lay the points in the bounce back spot with one of our favorite money-making teams, the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, got the Minnesota Timberwolves at home at the crib as sizable favorites, laying 12.5 points on the Portland Trail Blazers. Total 220.5. Both of these teams are on back end of back-to-backs. Both teams played yesterday. Blazers lost in San Antonio, and the Minnesota Timberwolves handled business on the road in Chicago. So both teams on back end of back-to-backs with travel. Looking at yesterday's games, the final scores do not tell you how neither one of those games went. Chicago had the lead the whole fucking game against the Timberwolves, bruh, and just ran out of gas in the end. Timberwolves put pedal to the metal late fourth quarter, won and covered that game. And that Blazers-Spurs game was much more competitive than the final score would indicate. On the back end of a back-to-back with travel, I don't feel comfortable laying 12.5 points with the Minnesota Timberwolves, a.k.a. the House of Disappointment, is all this game boils down to. Yes, the Timberwolves are head and shoulders a better basketball team. Yes, the Timberwolves should win this game. But no, I do not feel comfortable laying this many points. Give me the Blazers plus the points in this one. When I look at a season ago, how these two teams matched up, last game they played last year, Minnesota won at home, 119, 114. We're probably looking at something similar to that today. A Minnesota win, not a dominant win though, just a home win. The 3 games prior to that, they did dominate Portland though. 128-91, 121-109, and 116-93. Come on, Portland. Come here and hoop for me. Come in here and hoop for us today, Portland. Fading the Minnesota Timberwolves, aka the House of Disappointment, on the back end of a back-to-back, laying this many points. I don't trust them. So that's how I got to Portland. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we're in Denver, where the Chicken Nuggets are laying 3.5 points on the Miami Heat. Total 222.5. Short, sweet, simple. Y'all know where we at, man. We're on the Nuggets. We're laying the 3.5 points with them. Say it with me. The Nuggets go stupid, dummy, crazy at home, at the crib. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. A lot of y'all was ready to sell y'all's Nuggets stock 3 home games into the season. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. That's not what we doing. Here on the Jam Session, we love betting spots and situations. We know where teams perform well. We know where teams do not perform well. Couple games into the early season is not enough of a sample size to just give up on who teams are and who we know them to be. I know Denver came out and lost back-to-back home games to start their season and then proceeded to barely beat bad to mediocre teams on the road. I get it. That still doesn't mean they don't ball out at home. That doesn't mean that. And we saw them come out and get the outright win over the undefeated Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies at the time. The Nuggets were going to need a second to bring this new roster together. They lost KCP. Jamal Murray's been kind of banged up. They added Russell Westbrook into the fold. These things don't just happen overnight, man. Sometimes this shit takes a little time. But I really like what I saw from the Nuggets in their last game. We know we love and trust Denver in Denver. Miami, short road dogs is never their spot. They seem to always lose these games. Not overcomplicating this one, fellas. Not overcomplicating it. Hey, we're going to trust our spots, trust our situations. The Miami Heat suck. They're terrible as short road dogs. The Denver Chicken Nuggets go stupid, dummy, crazy at home at the crib. Don't overcomplicate it. I'll lay it here with the Nuggets at home. Here in this. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we got the Los Angeles Lake Show Lakers at home at the crib, laying 7.5 points on the Philadelphia 76ers. Lakers coming off an extended road trip, man, and that road trip was not kind to these boys. They lost 4 of their 5 games out there. Lost to the Suns, lost to the Cavs, lost to the Pistons, lost to the Grizzlies. Their one win came against the Toronto Raptors. The Sixers been struggling just as much, though. They've lost 4 straight. Lost to the Pistons, lost to the Grizzlies, lost on the road to the Suns, lost on the road to the Clippers. Both teams struggling coming into this game. Let's talk injuries. Tyrese Maxey out for the Philadelphia 76ers. He'll be out for about another week or so. Joel Embiid suspended, and injury management or whatever they got going on. For the Lakers, Anthony Davis, day-to-day Davis, street clothes Anthony Davis, game time decision. He sat last game. I didn't like that, man. I didn't like him sitting last game. So I don't know what's up with him or if he will play or miss this game. Keep an eye on that as the day progresses. Jackson Hayes, game time decision. Rui Hachimura, game time decision. Vanderbilt out. Christian Wood still out. In this one, Lakers are the better basketball team. This is a bounce-back spot at home at the crib following an extended road trip. But with all that said, I don't feel comfortable laying this many points with them. I think they're overrated, overvalued right now currently. The Sixers are a bad basketball team, but I think they can do enough to keep this game fairly comfortable. Not fairly comfortable, fairly reasonable, fairly competitive. That's the word I was trying to say, fairly competitive. The Lakers have let teams sneak in the back door, kind of like they did against Toronto, where they were up huge and Toronto kind of walked them down and covered in that basketball game. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw something similar here. Lakers should win the game. They should bounce back on a Friday night, but feeling comfortable laying this many points with them? Nah, not with the way they've been playing recently. So small lean on Philadelphia. I know they're banged up, but I think they can keep it competitive. Last game of the night. We're in Sacramento, where the Kings are laying 5.5 points on the Los Angeles Clippers. Total 223.5. It's a tough game. It's a tough one. I like the Kings here. I think the Kings are the better basketball team. Laying 5.5 kind of makes me a little nervous. I'm just going to be 1,000 with y'all in this game. It's not a premium style bet. I do think the Kings should win this game by 7, 8. But the number, to me, in my opinion, is right where it's supposed to be. Clippers, they are coming off an extended home trip They played at home, 5 straight games? They lost 3 straight to Portland, Phoenix, and Oklahoma City. They did turn around and win the next 2 comfortably, though, over the San Antonio Spurs and the Philadelphia 76ers. They're now out on the road. Not too much travel, LA to Sacramento, still in the state of California, but now out on the road playing a Kings team who's won 4 of their last 5. Played decently out on the road, beat up on the Jazz, beat up on the Hawks. They did lose to Toronto on the road. On the back end of a back-to-back, though. That game went to overtime, but they got their revenge the other day, 122-107. I think the Kings are the better basketball team. This should be a 7 to 8 point win for the Kings, in my mind, in my opinion. But the line is right where it should be. That's my thoughts. That's my opinion on this game. I want to fade the Clippers on the road coming out of the Intuit Dome. That's my thoughts. Give me Kings, laying the 5.5 here in our last and final game of the night. Let's talk some props. First one up, we got my man, Luka Doncic, over 31.5 points. If you don't know, now you know. Luka owns the Suns. Devin Booker is his son. Following the loss to them earlier this season, this time at home at the crib Friday night, I expect Luka to come out tripping. I'm taking him over 31.5 points. Anthony Davis, over 27.5 points. Street clothes Anthony Davis, day-to-day Davis. I get it. He's been banged up. Taking him over his points total is kind of, worrisome, especially with his injury questions. I get it. But if he plays tonight, he's healthy enough to play. And if he's healthy enough to play, I think the offense runs through him. The way the Lakers have looked terrible on this road trip, this should be a lock-in spot for them at home, at the crib. I think it's on the shoulders of Anthony Davis. I'm taking him over 27.5 points. Jalen Williams, over 20.5 points. Shea can't do it by himself every game. Jalen Williams has had back-to-back nice scoring games. I think that continues. Think the Rockets' defensive pressure mainly will be focused on Shea. I think Jalen Williams definitely will get the shots up to get over this points total. I like the way he's played in back-to-back games. I think he goes over 20 for 3 straight. Give me Jalen Williams over his points total. Cam Thomas under his points total. I know this one's going to be not a fun bet to be watching because Cam Thomas, we love him on here because he's a shot chunker. But Boston at home, at the crib, following a loss, I think their defensive and pressure is going to be extremely tight. One of the best perimeter defending teams in the league. They have a lot of bodies they'll be able to throw at Cam Thomas, Drew Holiday, Derek White, usually Jaylen Brown, but he's out. But I still think they'll do enough of defensive pressure on Cam Thomas to keep him under his points total. Give me Cam Thomas under 24.5. Nikola Jokic over 27.5. Bro came out, got that triple-double for us last game. A game like this one tonight, I think he comes out here balling again. I trust Jokic right now. I think he has an amazing game. I think Bam Adebayo's too undersized to really guard Jokic, so we're going to see a lot of post work. We're going to see a lot of fade, a lot of hooks, a lot of putbacks, a lot of second chance points. I like Jokic to have a monster night, probably going for 30 tonight. Give me Jokic over his points total. Keegan Murray over his threes made. We love betting Keegan Murray over threes made. The Kings, when you just look at their starting lineup, he's their three-point shooter right now currently. When Herter gets back or when Herter really starts turning it on, then we'll have to look at both of them. But right now, with the current lineup the Kings are running, Keegan Murray's getting the minutes, and he's on the floor to shoot the threes. So we're pretty much taking Keegan Murray over 2.5 threes every game, and we're just living with the results. So he had a nice game last game. I think he has another one here. Give me Keegan Murray over 2.5 threes. And last but not least, Cade Cunningham over 40 points, rebounds, and assists. I really wanted to just target his points prop, but at the time of recording, I couldn't find it. So then I saw this one, and I was like, it's kind of interesting. So last game, he had 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists against the Charlotte Hornets. The Hawks' defense is non-existent. The Hawks do not play defense. So I'm expecting his points to go up a little bit. I think the rebounds and assists stay somewhere the same. They're just going to have a lot of possessions in this basketball game. It's going to be a faster pace, higher scoring game. I think he gets the minutes. Very winnable game for these boys at home, at the crib Friday night. I think this is a flex their muscle style spot for the Pistons. And I think their best player, Cade Cunningham, comes out, has an amazing game, and it's on his shoulders. 40.5 is a lot. It's high. But it's high for a reason because the Hawks, the pace they play and the amount of possessions they give the other team, I think Cade Cunningham definitely has the chance and opportunity to get over his 40.5 PRA. So that's what I got for y'all tonight in prop land. Let's do it. And that's going to conclude this episode of my NBA Jam Session. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in and watch this video. Money Making Friday, ladies and gentlemen. One of my favorite days of the week, man. As I always say on a Friday, best thing to do, in my opinion, hop on a 3-day pass. When you hop on a 3-day pass, you get every single play that I release over the weekend. All my NBA today, all my NBA on Saturday, all my NBA on Sunday. All my college football this weekend, all my NFL this weekend, one low price on that 3-day pass. But as I always say as well, you can hop on something even longer term. And however you want to do it over at Pickdawgz Premium, you can do it. A link for that is in the description below. Last night we did drop our top play with the Blazers, outright money line, tried to take a shot. Wasn't totally in love with the card, the 3-game card, but it happens. Monday, we absolutely smashed that huge card. We took the Tuesday off because of the election. Wednesday, we absolutely smashed that huge card. Yesterday, there's only 3 games. And today, another huge card. You know what we're looking to do. Absolutely smash it. So if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man, more than y'all know. Money Making Friday. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs. See y'all tomorrow. I'm out of here. Peace.